Welcome back YouTubers to my channel of an everyday encounter and ordinary life of an Aspie. As you're fully aware that I have been sharing certain topics that I feel comes to my heart right now, as well as my thoughts when I've been sitting thinking out what would be of relevance to you guys and to understanding what I'm maybe going to bring out, sort of thing, on my journal encounterships. Even though, as I have said sometime way back, that you've got to be aware some of these topics may not be in the book that I have introduced to you or have actually quoted so many times, so bear with me, sort of thing. I'm just hoping that some of these topics that I'm sharing with you will be of help to you or to someone that you may feel that needs these topics to be addressed or to be shared along the way, no matter what it may be, so to speak. So, and all further ado, now I'm going to be doing a bit more on the AS and Education series, even though this one is going to be under hopefully the playlist World of Differences, which means obviously I'm going to cover when that, you know, different type of disabilities or conditions that people may come across, be it, you know, ADHD, ADD and all that, how to approach them in a manner of speaking of how we can just treat them the same way, hopefully, maybe, and just to bear in mind that, you know, everyone is different no matter what, you know, stage or development of what they are, you know, in their lifetime of growing up, be it whatever it may be, you know. Even though I have come to pass to me that many people tend to, you know, misread, misjudge, misinterpret people in a lot of different ways, instead of, you know, making these assumptions, they should maybe, as I said, maybe tread with caution with certain people out there that are different, because obviously everyone's different and how they affect, you know, say what they say sometimes may affect them in a different way than you least expect it. Sometimes some people are just so out there being plain ignorant and think that everybody should be the same when we're not, you know. Just got to be our mind on that. Anyway, this one is called pretty much total communication, basically. What I'm going to say here about this, though, is like total communication I'm going to cover is basically what it is, pitching at the right level, sort of thing. Just a little brief introduction on this, you know, pitching at the right level of this total communication environment to create. Maybe some examples of some models or just some, you know, techniques that will come about to help you with people that has that sort of thing. Right, and all further ado, I better stop babbling and get going. As we know that many people, as I said, are different, but before we work or communicate with different people of different needs, be it, you know, there's some children or even young adults that has some learning difficulties of a way of communicating to us in retrospect, even though we need to realise that even though they may be different, we shouldn't be laughing at them, or we shouldn't be just assuming that they, as I said, they should be the same, because at the end of the day, with a bit of help along the way of what I'm giving out to you all, you should be able to understand where I'm coming from. We also need to be aware of our communication styles and techniques and skills, because sometimes, as we know, that, you know, how we communicate or what we say and stuff, as I said, affect others in different ways. Some people may think just because that, you know, someone is autistic or just someone that's, you know, looks dumb or acts dumb, may be not bright and brainy and won't understand us one, but there's a no-no, it's a put off, because I've realised, come to age now in this day and age, when I've been around at high school with that learning support class, that there was a particular person pretty much that was like in a vegetable state, but he knew what was going on. He was alert, bright and responsive. He was responding through his eyes, basically. He did say a few words here and there, but then again, you know, many people misread him and misinterpret and misjudged him just because he was, you know, in a kind of state that shouldn't be there, you know. But he was born like that, I think, from memory, but I won't bring up more about his life story. As we know, if we want to be skilled communicators, we need to have an awareness to the difficulties of children and young adults with special needs to do with the communication that we bring across to them. We need to adapt to the communication styles and needs of those people. However, and within that communication styles and techniques, we need to be in an environment that they feel safe and comfortable in. Some people may think that's just rubbish and that, but that's your choice. At the end of the day, this is how it is with these people. This will give the children and young adults the optimum opportunity to actually understand and communicate to us better if you give them the right tools and essentials through the communication methods, be it sign language, be it some verbal cue or some other cue, be it something that they smell from, or to remember the smell maybe, or just something that you think maybe just to tell a joke, but be in mind that they might not take it too hard, you know, as in a haha very funny kind of way. As you know, there are a few key guidelines that we need to be aware when working with children with some communication delay. As I said before, I had a form of communication delay, and sometimes when I was younger I had to basically go through speech therapy just to, you know, help me through this, and I still to this day still have a bit of a delay, or what you call it, communication shutdown phase of me sometimes, but that's fine and well. You know, some people may see me happy burping 1 minute and then the next I'm down on the low, but hopefully people can understand me, as I said, as well as others that are like me, or just others just in a different community, be it, you know, as I said, as I'm bringing out the world of differences of different, you know, people with different needs. Yeah. We need to look beyond the speech and think of the communication in a broader sense, what we call, as I said, total communication. With total communication, we can focus on every possibility to express our message and help the information to be understood and processed by others. Conversely, also give the child with special needs or young adults with special needs as many resources and opportunities to convey the message in a way that they'll understand it pretty much, as well as to our understanding. You've got to be aware, no jargon allowed around here. Anyway, as I said, what is total communication? Total communication is a holistic view of communication, often using a range of different techniques and models, or even just thinking, as we call it, outside the box, pretty much to create a system of communication that will work for them or the individual. Other definition of total communication, however, may include using all possible means to communicate and or receive a message of some kind. When, as we know, communication is important. It's a two-way street. One's the sender, one's the receiver, and how we, you know, receive that message will determine the actual message at the end of what's been conveyed. 2, creating a best fit for a child to communicate, optimizing the skills and reducing the impairments of whatever they may have, be it speech delay, be it stuttering, be it, for example, I don't know, another one, they could be, their thought processes is a bit slower than others, you know. 3, a blanket that covers all the aspects of the child's abilities, ensuring that the child has access to any means of communication, be it if it's verbal, be it if it's by their touch, be it by their smell, be it of the 5 classic senses, so to speak, that can get together to help them understand their world better, even if, like I said before, they have a difference of a way of going away, communicating to us. Number 4, facilitating and assisting each child by providing supports and opportunities to communicate and be included and optimize their potential. It's important, regardless of their differences, of their communication delay or whatever they may have that has, you know, broken down that communication process, to involve them, to make them feel wanted, appreciated, loved, and that, like anybody, they want that as well. Anyway, here's some examples I'm going to bring out now to share with you basically on these models or modalities, pretty much, of this total communication approach that I've just read to you. But you got to bear in mind, there's more to it than what I'm sharing with this list. There's more. It's not a completed list, but hopefully maybe if you want to, I'll later in the piece, maybe in this video, give you a link maybe to help you out if you want more information. Just let me know, sort of thing, as I go along. Anyway, as we know, every individual is different in some way or another. It may use different range of uses of these modalities, or some may have similar traits or beneficial, certain bits and pieces that are the same that could benefit them and others around them. Again. Number 1, touch cues are a way of giving blind, deaf individuals information about what is going on. Meaning, basically, as we know, the classic one is Braille and sign language for these people. Many people just tend to think, as I've noticed, that, you know, we should be excluding, I've noticed this time and time again, excluding these type of people, the ones that are deaf or blind, that's not on. I reckon, like I said, accept them in. Number 2, texture cues or objects of reference. These are through use of objects or tactile symbols can build up a range of communication options. Environmental cues. This is a general description for many cues that are around us, as we know, hence the word environmental. This can include pictures, logos, colours, noise, and texture, and the like. There's so much more. As I said, number 4, if I'm not done so already, facial expression, gesture, and body language. Some of this is more obvious to others, as we know that non-verbal communication and verbal communication is important in our everyday lives. But these are also important because these carry more meaning, I feel, with the non-verbal, and can be used especially with communication difficulties, like be it before people that may need sign in between it and whatever else. As we know, in this one that follows on, the signing systems, as I said, the sign language. Sign language is a universal structure of signing system, basically, that is used all around the world, even though I've noticed with how I sign to someone could be different to them, because obviously, you know, it's universal worldwide, and every so often I notice that with the different countries they sign differently, and sometimes it can cause conflict and confusion for us, but that's just alright, you know, just as long as hopefully we can actually understand them to a point where we're going with this. Pictures, visual strategies. Visuals and pictures can work for many individuals with communication difficulties, because as you know, with people with what's the word I'm looking for? Communication difficulties, or as I said before, communication breakdown, whatever. Sometimes with visual stuff, they can recall things visually because maybe in the past, before they were like the way they are, pretty much they'll be able to maybe light up and think, oh yep, this is something I remember, basically, you know, and they'll get excited. You just, as they say, important to watch their facial expressions, watch their body language and all that, so that they can actually be able to express what they're saying or trying to express through the other methods of modalities of what I'm sharing right now. This can be used in a multiple set of ways, though, however, to enhance the understanding and expression of their own. Number 6, print. Using a printed word or recognizable symbol system can be used when other forms of communication may fail. Number 7, assistive technology communication. This is basically a generic term that includes assistive, adaptive, and rehabilitative devices with a focus on facilitating communication. Be it like sometimes some tools may include like speech recognition as a real good example here. Despite that, sometimes I've realised that when I've been trying to use speech recognition just to help me type out the words that I needed, basically the computer doesn't understand me. And sometimes it can, you know, go against you sometimes, and then you know, it's just a matter of, like, we know of anything and everything, it's just a matter of practice, and hopefully that the computer will recognise our voice time and time again, sort of thing. Number 7, if it is up to that, speech, voice, and language. Many people with communication impairment are still able to use their voice and speech, however. Remember to pitch your language at a level that the listener will understand and give them plenty of time to process the information. What I mean here is basically what I've learned is, with this part especially, is we can't bombard them with so much information. Maybe we need to give them small chunks of information one way or another, so that they can process it to an extent to their own understanding. You know, just don't get impatient with them. However, you need to just be the complete opposite. Be patient with them and try not to force words into their mouths if they're the ones that stutter or just have communication delay to the point where they may not be able to express or say what they're saying. Give them time, even though there, like I said, there are other ways to help them regardless, even though I've noticed that some people do get impatient with other people that are different, and that to the point that a person that's different gets a bit agitated and flustered or some other mixed emotions involved, and then they'll just hate themselves maybe. Anyway, eye gaze and partner associated assisted scanning. As we know that there are some new technology coming out right now of certain things that are available to people as well, you know, to accesses of computers or just machines with communication via eye gaze, for example. You can also eye gaze effectively with that expensive technology by using a communication partner and e-train frame or visuals. As I said before, total communication, however, encompasses a host of different ways to communicate, many of which we use all day long without even thinking about it, be it gesture, non-verbal communication, verbal communication, the gestures of the, as well as the touch, the feel, sensation, environmental cues, and the like. The important thing to note here, though, however, for you guys to remember, is that by using a combination of different communication modalities and models, you can greatly increase the effectiveness of the message that you're sharing or is trying to share with others around you. The speaker will be giving more cues to get their message across, however, and the listener will have more cues to help them understand the message. Well, that ends basically the first part of the total communication, pitching the right level and creating total communication environment. The next one basically is going to be some guidelines, basically, of the importance, however, of this total communication and how it's going to work, hopefully, in a bit more detail than I have shared on this first part. So, please give me the thumbs up pretty much below, you know, to give me a, you know, indicator that you've been viewing or watching, and also just an indicator also to show me that you're supporting me, and also and it's an indicator sometimes also to see comments so I can communicate to you guys out there, you know. It's not always, as we know, it's not always easy for me just to come out of my shell now and again, even though, like I've told myself, it's okay. Hopefully some people out there will understand it, because it does take a lot of guts and courage to share my journey with AS and others, you know, symptom-like conditions that I have brought so much in the past, which I haven't been bringing some other bits, but it will be coming, hopefully. Hopefully. I'm just trying to think of the right words to say in the next one over for one of my other conditions that I'm hoping to bring out to you, sort of thing. As you know, you should know me by now, but anyway, enough of the do, feel free to comment below, or even just private message me if you feel to have a quiet word with me, you know, a little nudge there just to show that you're there, you know, on my AspieAnswersAll, as I keep reminding you all too before I end this, that AspieAnswersAll page should be a page where I put my videos up, as well as people private messaging me there, so that, you know, they feel safe, not being judged or anything like that. If they're going through a rough time, for example, I don't know, if they're going through a breakup, or that just want someone there just to talk to, you know, hopefully I'll be there just to support you regardless. I can't guarantee I'll always answer to all your questions, or, you know, be able to give you sound advice for all of you, you know, sort of thing, due to the time restraints that I may have at the moment, due to the fact that I should be focusing on the last few weeks of my studies. But like I said, I'm hoping in the near future I will be able to help people in a way that will be of benefits to you guys, you know, regardless of what it may be. So enough of the do. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you all soon.